Ben, did you see the story about Politico, the Politico CEO? Because I think this is really important also for our listeners to be aware of, because this is some pretty screwed up stuff.
Yeah. Tell me about it, Brett.
Yeah, so Politico's parent company is this German company named Axel Springer, and the CEO apparently was revealed to have emailed his top executives shortly before the 2020 election to ask any of them if they would, quote, want to get together for an hour in the morning on November 3rd, 2020, and pray that Donald Trump will again become president of the United States of America. That's a real email that he sent. The CEO of Politico was asking his fellow executives to pray with him. Pray that Donald Trump was reelected president. How could you possibly trust media when they are literally praying for Donald Trump to be president?
And Brett, isn't the thing too? So then reporting came out right after that he had said that, right?
Yeah.
Like shortly after.
Yeah.
And then he denied it. And then he said, no, I never said it. And then the emails came up and surfaced recently. And then when confronted with like the actual emails after denying it, he was like, oh, I was just joking. That's just my sarcastic. That's just my sarcastic humor. I mean, the ultimate gaslighting 101. I mean, but here's the thing, because there's a lot of money in it and there's outside investors and, they're beholden to billionaire interests who want to get oligarchical style benefits. Who do you think benefits from trickle down economics? Billionaires like that CEO and that parent company that bought it. They want all the tax cuts, they want all the benefits, and they're intimidated by the fact that someone like a Biden has middle up economics. God forbid you actually support the middle class, you invest in the middle class, and I do this kind of joke, but it's very serious, where I talk about trickle down economics, and I think to myself, how do you have a situation where you have like MAGA extremists doing a rally, to purportedly people who are not billionaires in the crowd, let's just say that, or not decamillionaires in the crowd. I'll leave it at that. I could take a safe bet that those are not. I could take a safe bet that government programs like Social Security and Medicare are actually a lifeline to the people who root against those very things. But to root for trickle down economics, and what I always say is, I was like, let's give the money to the billionaires and then let it trickle down, and hopefully I get a little trickle from a that just graces me with the little trickle of a billionaire, and I go, oh, thank you, billionaire, for that trickle.
Thanks for trickling on me.
Thanks for trickling on me.
I always take it in a weird direction, and you call it. I think that's my role here while you're doing the trickle down.
But that's what you're rooting for versus, okay, that's what I always say. Like, so we could give you the money, sir, or ma'am, or whoever, or we could give it to your boss. Who would you rather give it to? You and your family, your CEO? You know what? Give it to my CEO. He deserves it better than me. That's what you're arguing for. Give it to the CEO. He needs another Mercedes or another Bentley.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane that they just want to make these, rich people richer. And it just shows you, though, this rot in the media. And not all media is bad. Like I said, I really think that the media is incredibly important. I want a strong media, but that's why I get so honestly nervous about the state of things when I see things like the Politico story about a person, a CEO of a media company, praying for Donald Trump. And it shows you that it is time for a new way of doing things. And that's why I'm excited today to make a huge announcement to our Midas Mighty supporters here, because we are building the most unapologetically pro-democracy movement out there. And all of you have joined us along the way. And we are tired of this both sidesism. There are no both sides to fascism and democracy, and we will always stand on the side of democracy. So today, we are proud to announce that MeidasTouch Network is on Patreon, and you could support our unapologetically pro-democracy movement right now by going to patreon.com/MeidasTouch. And not only will you be supporting the fastest growing pro-democracy movement in the world, but depending on your tier that you select, you'll also get access to a private Discord chat where you could chat with fellow members of the Midas Mighty. You get bonus podcast episodes you won't hear anywhere else. We'll send you some exclusive postcards from the brothers. You'll get access to some exclusive merch and so much more. You'll even have the option, if you you want to become a producer of this podcast and see your name in the end credits, depending on which tier you choose. So you right now have an opportunity to help build this pro-democracy movement with us. We've always said this is more than a network. This is a community, and this is a way for you to engage with us on a daily basis to really be fully involved in this movement. Go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch right now and help supercharge our pro-democracy movement. We cannot do it without you.
Yeah, and don't worry for those who don't do it. We still have the podcast and the YouTube, and nothing's going to change there. It's just another way you could support with some enhanced benefits. So go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch and check it out.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs. It wasn't rigged, you're just a loser. At store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.